Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our day 6 of our program, Data Analytics and Power BI with AI. So, we have successfully completed half part of our program, guys. Right. All the important topics like Power Query Editor, then data modeling, as well as DAX, we have been done so far. And today we are going to start a new topic. It is data visualization. What it is? It's data visualization. The main purpose of Power BI is to visualize the data, and that we are going to start from today. We are going to start it from today. Right. So tell me, what is visualization? How do you define visualization? The term visualization. Come on, guys. Visualization is nothing but, representing the data that we have in the form of pictures, some graphs. Is that called as visualization? Yes. So in short, visualization means we are going to represent the data in form of some pictures, graphs. What is the reason behind it? If I have the data stored in structured format, see, if I have the data in this format, okay, can I understand the data? Yes, I can. I can understand the data. But can I draw insights from the data? Is it possible to draw insights from the data? It is, but no, it takes lot of time. So what we'll do is, I'll take the same data and I'll represent this data in form of some pictures, some graphs. To understand the data well, we are representing the data in the form of some pictures. Right? So that is called as data visualization. And I'm going to take the same data that we have used for, data modeling. You remember we have established a connection between the tables using data modeling, Power Pivot, right? So are these the tables that we have got? Customer table, dates table, products table, store table, and finally sales table. I hope you remember, guys. Yes. So what I'm going to do here is, I'll be taking the data that we have represented in the form of model. Okay. So this data, using all these tables, let us start understand the concept of data visualization. All right. Yes. So I have launched Power BI Desktop. Guys, if you see here, under the visualizations pane towards the right hand side, there are multiple visualizations. There are multiple visualizations, and we are going to learn majority of these visualizations. Power BI supports 200 to 300 visualizations. And don't ask me where are those 200 and 300 visualizations. Because we did not complete the sign in. I'll tell you when you have to do the sign in, I'll let you know. So once if you sign into Power BI Desktop, you can, when you click on this ellipse, which gives you multiple options like get more visuals. First option is get more visuals. So when you click on this get more visuals, it redirects you to a page where you will have around 200 to 300 visualizations. Out of those, we have majority of the visualizations that are widely used here itself. So we are going to learn the important visualizations only. What are we going to do? We are going to learn the important visualizations because it's not possible to learn all. And majority of these visualizations that are available in the visualizations pane, they are used for the same purpose. Okay. So as we go on, you'll understand one by one. Right. So let me talk about the important visualizations present in the visualizations pane. Okay. So before that, what is a report? What is a report? Report is a page, a single page in which you'll have multiple tiles or a single tile. Right. These tiles are the visualizations or the charts. They interact in report level. I hope you remember yesterday. Right. In the last class, we have discussed the concept of DAX, in which we calculated measures and calculated columns. Am I right? Yes. So let us take our discussions to the next level by understanding the concept of data visualizations. Fine. So before understanding the visualizations that we have here, I would like to talk about the basic options, the formatting options that we have for the canvas. What is canvas? The dotted lines, whatever you see, this dotted lines is nothing but canvas. Okay. So you can adjust this canvas by clicking on this zoom in and zoom out buttons. Towards the right hand side, bottom right hand side, you observe the zoom in and zoom out buttons. So this helps for adjusting the size of canvas. See, I can adjust. It depends. As per your wish, you can adjust the size of the canvas. So for this canvas, we have the formatting options, guys. We do have formatting options for the canvas alone. So where do we have the formatting options is next to the build visual. Under the visualizations pane, you have build visual, the visualizations. Yes. Next to the build visual, you'll see format your report page. So that means this part. You can do format the report page. Okay. So when you click on this, you will observe multiple options. Okay. And each and every option has a specific meaning. The first one is page information. What does page information is letting you know? The name of the page. So what is the name of the page? It is page 1. Instead of it, you can adjust or you can change the name of your page. For example, I don't want to have it as page 1. I'll change it to table and matrix chart. Or let me keep it as, for time being, let me keep it as the report. Report. You see the changes? Yes. So under the page information, I have the option to change the name of our page. Right. Next to it, canvas settings. See, how would you like to have these dotted lines? By default, it uses 16:9 ratio. It uses 16:9 ratio. If you want to keep it as 4:3, the canvas to be concise, no, you can click on 4:3. See, if you want to change the canvas size to letter sheet, an A4 size paper, the size of an A4 size letter, or tooltip. So very small, yes. Or you can also custom, guys. When you click on custom, it allows you to provide the height and width. It allows you to keep your default height and width. So I'll just go with 16:9 ratio. Yes. And for this canvas, you can adjust the background. By default, the color is white. See, Visualizations is more of making the data more beautiful. You know, when the clients go through your visualizations, when someone is watching your visual, they have to be attracted. How do you attract the visualization? I mean, the folks. It might be the stakeholders, the clients, whoever it might be, your boss, your superiors, right? So that is all because of the color. So by default, you'll see the color in white. You can adjust the color. See, I have changed to blue, but still you are not able to visualize the color, right? Yes, that is because of the transparency. You adjust the transparency accordingly. See, only for the canvas I'm using the color blue. Okay, and I am going with 44% transparency. If I want to keep it 0, you'll see the dark blue. Right? So upon your requirement, use the color. Okay, or if you have the client, say, if you're going to provide a report for your client, okay, why don't you specify the logo of your client in the background? Because client will obviously have a logo, right? So why don't you use that logo as your background? Is that possible? Yes. You see in the option, there is an option called image, which helps us to use any image, okay, from the local machine. See, we can add an image from our local machine. By navigating to that place, we can go to that specific location and you can select that image and you can use it as the background. That image can be used as background. That is also possible, right? Once after doing the changes, if you're not satisfied with what you have done, for everything you'll see an option called reset to default. See, for example, I have adjusted the background color for canvas as blue. Right, I'm not satisfied with it. Instead of going and changing it to black, white again, if you click on reset to default, what happened? It has reset it to the default settings. See, it has reset it to the default settings. So this is all about canvas background. Next to canvas background, you'll see wallpaper. What is wallpaper? Next to canvas, there is something till the filter screen. So this is called wallpaper. Okay, this area is called wallpaper and we have formatting options for wallpaper as well. See the color. You can change the color for your wallpaper. See, let me do some changes. Fine. Yes, you can adjust the transparency upon your requirement. Okay, so in this way, you can add a color for your wallpaper, canvas, or you can use any images as the background. Okay, that is also possible, guys. So these are the different options, the formatting options that we have for the canvas, the report level. Okay, and if you don't want to change any of these settings with respect to the reports, you can directly start visualizing your data. You can directly start visualizing your data. So what I'll do is, first of all, in order to visualize the data, we should have the data first. Yes, we should have the data. So let us load the data into Power BI desktop. So how to load the data? Under the home tab, you'll see the options to get the data. As we are having the data within the Excel workbook itself, I'll click on Excel workbook option. Once after clicking on Excel workbook, you have to navigate to the place where you have the Excel workbook. So this is my Excel workbook. I'll click on open. Next to clicking on the open button, the open option, The navigator window opens. I hope you remember. When the navigator window opens, I'm supposed to select all the sheets that I want to load the data into Power BI. See, all the 5 queries: customer table, dates table, products table, and sales table, stores table, as well as products table, all. So I would like to load all these tables. I'll select all of them. Is it done? Yes, selecting done. Next to it, I'll click on load data. What makes difference between load and transform data options? When you click on load data, all these tables get loaded to Power BI desktop. When you click on transform data option, these tables, they get loaded to Power Query Editor for transformations. So I don't need any kind of transformations. I'll directly click on load option. Done. Right? So let us cross check whether the data has been loaded or not. It is still under execution. It will take time. Yes, the data is getting loaded, guys. Observe. So the data is getting loaded, taking good amount of time. Is it done? Yes, it's done. So now we have the data under the data pane, and let us start understanding each and every visualization. Okay, the important visualizations one by one. So focus. I have loaded the data into the data pane, but before that, I'll quickly go and cross check whether there is the relationship established between the different tables or not. You see here, there is no kind of relationships that got identified. So what I'll do is, I'll quickly do it using manage relationship option. So when yes, there is an option called auto detect. So let me click on auto detect and see what happens. Power BI has to identify the relationships, but it is failing to identify the relationships. Let's do it manually. That's okay. I'll create the relationships one by one. Via getting null, 1 minute. Let us quickly go through the data. I have launched Power Query Editor, and let me check why am I getting these null values. This is done. What are these? Okay, so there are some null values, guys. Let us remove all of these null values. Right. So I'll just click on the column that we have. Okay, customer ID. And I'll remove the blank rows. Done. So we just have only the rows which are not null. Done. Yes. So the null rows got removed. In the same way, let us do it for dates. Yes, even dates also have the same. So I'll do the same here as well. I'll remove the blank rows. Done. Next to it. Sales. So probably the blank rows are present in all the tables. Let us remove the blank rows which are not required. Yes. Under the products table, yes, we have the blank rows here as well. Done. Yes. Next to it, finally, stores table. I'm going to remove the blank rows. So just because of these blank rows, what happened is we were unable to detect, Power BI was unable to detect the relationship between the tables, right? So once after removing the blank rows from all the tables, I'll click on close and apply so that these queries, the tables get loaded to Power BI desktop. Done. See, is it done? Yes. Let me go to the model view. I'll click on refresh. Done. Now I'll start establishing the relationship between the tables. See, so I'll keep the direction as both, right? Then I'll create the relationship. Using customer ID column, I have established the connection between customer table and the sales table in the same way using date ID column. So I'll keep the direction as both so that it helps us to filter in both the directions. Done. Using product ID, let us establish the relation between sales table and product table. Let us keep the direction as both side. Done. And finally, store ID. So why am I establishing the connections initially is I would like to use the columns here and there. See, from all these tables, we are going to use the columns, guys, one by one. Right? Yes. So we are done with the connections, the establishment and all. I'll go to the report view and I'll start with the first visualization. The first and the foremost visualization that we would like to talk about is the table visualization. Okay. Under the visualizations pane, you will observe multiple visualizations. So far, if you remember, in DAX, we have discussed card and card new visualizations. Along with card and card new, we have also discussed slicer visualization. So what is the purpose of card new visualizations? Both card and card new visualizations are used to display the value that a measure has. A calculated measure, okay, within the measure will have a value. So that value can be visualized using either card or card new visuals. Okay, then what is the purpose of slicer visual? Slicer visual helps us to filter the data. It helps us to filter the data, right? So I'll be talking about these visualizations again. That's not an issue. Next to slicer, you see table visual, one of the important visualization in Power BI. What is it? Table visualization. So let me select table visual. So how to load a visualization into desktop? I mean, the report. Yes. How to load a visualization into a report is, it's very simple. When you click on the visualization under the visualization pane, when you click on the visual, immediately that visual gets loaded to the report. See, and what does this indicate is the square box that you observe to this entire visual. That means that particular visualization was selected in the report, in the page. That particular visual was selected. How to deselect it? By just clicking on the white space. Deselect it. Now do you see the square box? No. But when you select it, you'll observe the square box. So that makes the difference, guys. That is the main difference. So what is the purpose of table chart or table visual? Table chart or table visual helps us to, represent the data in form of rows and columns. Is this a table? Yes. How do you represent the data in a table? In rows and in columns. In the same way, I am going to represent the data in a form of table using table chart. Okay, right. So for each and every visualization, you'll find options. When you are using it, you'll get multiple different options. Okay, so we are going to understand these options as well. And for each and every visualization, we will also have formatting options. And majority of these formatting options will be same. Majority of these formatting options will be same. So for initial charts like table chart, matrix chart, so on, I'll be very slow, guys, because for the first time we started understanding visualizations, right? So I'll be very slow. You guys have to concentrate throughout the session. So what exactly I'm going to do here? What does each and every format option means? Pay attention, right? So if you see for table chart, there is only one option. What is that one option that we have here? The columns option. Yes. So it is asking us to add the fields. So whatever the columns that you would like to add, you can bring them to this section. Okay. When you bring that fields to this section, immediately you'll see them in the visualization. Making sense? I'll enlarge it. See, I can extend the visual both in size. Okay. In both the directions, I'm able to do it. That is because of these, marks. I'll talk about this. No worries. Right. So let me initially load some columns to it. We have product ID. Yes. So let me load product ID to the chart. Again, adding a field to a chart, we can do it in multiple ways, guys. See, all of them are different visualizations. I mean, So I have added product ID to the column, to the visualization. Done. Next to it, I would like to add the product name. So if I just click on this box, immediately the product name is getting added. See, immediately the product is getting added. Next to product name, I would like to add the category to which it belongs to. So let us also explore the other way. Other way is dragging the field and leaving it next to the column. See, to which category they belong to. Each and every product, to which category they belong to, we have the information. So what are the different columns that we have added so far? Product ID, product name, category, and next to category, I would like to add quantity, the total quantity of the products that got sold. But do you see the quantity column here? No, it is under the sales table. You see quantity here? Yes. So the quantity represents the total number of products that got sold. See, I just added quantity, but why it is displaying sum of quantity? This is because of quantity is a numeric column. It's a numeric column, especially for numeric columns. When you click on this drop down, the arrow mark pointing towards downside, you'll see different options, guys. You'll have multiple options, and by default, for numeric column, the sum aggregation will be done. If you don't want to summarize, you can go for don't summarize. But that doesn't make sense here. I'm supposed to add the quantity, the total quantity of the number. That has to be done. So I'll obviously go with the sum option. So that is why you see sum of quantity. Can I change it? Yes. You can also go with average measure, which displays the average of the quantity. What is the average quantity of each and every product that got sold? We'll get that information. All right. Can I change the column name? Yes. By double clicking on this box, it helps us to change. Instead of sum of quantity, I would like to keep it as total quantity. Once after doing the necessary changes, click on enter. Click on enter. Immediately you'll see the change in the visualization. Making sense? Yes. Clear? In the same way, can I also add any other columns? Yes, you can add all the columns that you would like to have to the visualization. Why? How can you tell that how many columns can we add? You see the space within this columns option box. You see the space at the last, which tells us to add n number of columns. But for some options, as you'll understand, right? As we go on, you'll understand. For few options, after adding one column alone, it does not allow us to add other columns. Right? So let me also add total amount. Nothing but, the amount that we have got by selling all these products. You see here, guys? We also have the total amount coming in. Now I'll change it as just total amount instead of sum of total. Okay, I'll just give space between total and amount. Done. So I can also adjust in size. I'll be adjusting in size. Done. Yes, if I zoom in a bit, probably that would make sense. Right. So in this way, I can have multiple columns within the table chart. I can have multiple columns. And if you observe properly, we are using the columns from two different tables, from products table, from sales table. See, that is possible. So I'm representing the data in a form of table. That's it. Now, what is your main thing is to understand or to keep this visualization very beautiful, we have format your visual options for each and every visualization. You'll have the formatting options. So before understanding the formatting options for table chart, let us understand these three options, because these three options will be same across all the visualizations. I'll start with the ellipse option first of all. You see three dots? These three dots are called ellipse. So when you click on ellipse, you'll find multiple options. The first one is export data. What is the first option? Export data. So what does export data means? You can export this table as it is, okay, to a CSV file. See, when I click on export data, see, it is allowing me to save the data for exporting. Which format? In CSV format. So exporting can be done. The table as it is. Next to it, show as a table. Anyhow, this is a table, but still, this is one of the options that is present for all the visualizations. Okay. When I click on show as a table, so that same table chart will be displayed as a table, guys. See, product ID, product name, category, total quantity, total amount. I'll go back to the report level. Yes. So is this chart providing the total amount and the total quantity of each and every product that got sold? Yes. But if you have the data in the raw format, are you getting this information? No, I'm not getting such kind of information. But if I represent the data in the form of visualization, I got the same. Excuse me. My output is different, right? Yes. So in this way, I can clearly understand the purpose of visualization. I can understand the purpose of visualization because initially I have the data in the format of table only. But can I get such kind of information? No. I have product IDs, I have product names, and I also know to which category does these products fall under. But did I get the total quantity of the products that got sold? No. Why? Because if we observe under the sales table, you know, we have the records individually, and now you see them aggregated. All of these values got aggregated. So what is the total quantity that got stored, that got sold in the store? It is 491. What is the total amount that was generated by selling all these products? It is $25,711. So such kind of information, you'll get it only when you visualize the data. When you visualize the data, you'll get such kind of important information. Making sense? Right. So let us discuss about let us continue understanding the options. What is the next option? The next one is remove. What does remove option does? Remove option is going to remove this tile. It helps us to remove this visualization from the page. I don't want to do so. And the fourth option is automatically find clusters. Okay. So this helps us to find the groups present in the data. It helps us to find the groups. Next one, spotlight. When you click on this spotlight, it adds a kind of shadow. See, a shadow gets added to your tile. If you observe. So it's up to you guys. I would not like to keep the spotlight on. I'll make it off. And we have sorting the data. We have sort by option, which helps us to sort the data. Okay. So when you say sort by, it is asking you to on which column would you like to sort the data. For example, say would you like to sort the data using total amount column? Assume. If you would like to sort the data using total amount column, see, is the data got sorted using the total amount column? Yes. In which order? Descending order. Okay. What if you would like to sort the data in ascending order? Select sort ascending. Your wish. Okay. Whether would you like to sort in which order, which arrangement it is, on which column basis, you can select it by clicking on the ellipse option. You can do it, guys. When you don't want to do it, just click on it again. That's it. Okay. Next to sort by, these are the columns that are the options that are not required. So till sort by, if you are clear on these options, I'll go to the next options that we have. They are focus mode. What does this focus mode does? Or what is the purpose of focus mode? The purpose of focus mode option is it helps us to focus on that particular visualization only. See, within a page, if there are multiple visualizations, and if you would like to focus on one visualization, then you can click on the focus mode so that it helps us to focus on that visualization, or it helps us to focus on the tile. And once if you are done, you can go back to the report. See. And the last one is for filters. Okay, you can add filters and slicers, that are going to affect these visualization. Okay, you see the cone, inverted cone kind of icon, a funnel. So this is for filtering the data. You can apply any kind of filters. As of now, I did not apply any filters, right? So let us jump into the formatting options that we have for, the visualization. So how to go and observe the formatting options? Next to build visual, you'll see format your visual option. You'll see format your visual option. Just click on it. So these are the different formatting options that we have for table chart. These are the different formatting options that we have for table chart. I'll start from the first one. Focus, guys, because all of these formatting options will be same. Time again, I am repeating. Majority of these formatting options will be same. So try to understand these formatting options. So what is the purpose of these formatting options is to make your visualization very attractive. You can add some colors. You can change the font style, the font size, whatever the important values that you have in this visualization, like total values. So these total values should be highlighted. So such kind of options are available under the format visual options only. I'll talk about general. Okay. Under format visual also, you'll see two different formatting options. One is for visual, for this visual, and the next one is for general. Okay. So what is the difference? You'll understand. Right? So let me talk about the style presets first of all. Okay. Yes. So the style presets will be talking about the style, how you would like to represent your table chart. Okay. by default, it is going the default one. If you don't want to go with the default one, you can just click on none. You see, it is very simple. The none style is very simple. If you were not satisfied with none or default, you can also use minimal. What does minimal say? You know, the column names and the totals are getting highlighted. Am I right? Yes, and the rows as well. Not minimal, bold header. Where the headers get bold, see, the headers are getting bold and they're getting the uh, attraction. So when you visualize, when someone visualize your table chart, yeah, their eyes completely goes on the column names. Because if you observe, the headers are in bold. Not bold header, we have alternating rows where both headers and the totals are getting, they are catching the eyes of the people, and the alternate rows are getting some kind of background color. If you see, they have the background color to clearly distinguish between record to record. There is a background color added for each and every alternative record. Next to alternating rows, we have contrast alternating rows. The same, but the contrast color was added. Exact the contrast color. Then flashy rows. We also have the flashy rows. Okay, one of the style is flashy rows. If not, we have bold header flashy rows. So that means the bold headers, along with the bold headers, you'll see the flashy records. And next to it, we have sparse. So what does sparse mean? Sparse means empty, guys. So that is the reason you'll not even see any kind of, these lines. So keeping the distinguish, we should have some lines, right? If not, you can use the condensed style. It is very condensed. So it depends on the style that you are going to select. I'll go and select the default one because default one is very good enough for me, right? Then next to style presets, we have the grid lines. What are the grid lines that we have? We have both horizontal grid lines and the vertical grid lines. Okay, first one, the horizontal grid lines. By default, they are on. They are on. If you would not like to have them, you can off it. See, I'm keeping them on. And which color would you like to add for the horizontal grid lines? See, for understanding where did we have the horizontal grid line, you use any dark color. See, for example, like orange. See, now you are able to identify the horizontal grid lines. Yes, you can increase the width of these grid lines. See, making sense? In the same way, would you also like to have the vertical grid lines? Yes. Now I see the vertical grid lines. Would you like to change the color of your vertical grid line? Yes, let me keep it as orange itself. I'll also increase the width to 3. Yes, I'm making my visualization very beautiful, guys. See. Okay. So this is how there are multiple options next to it. Under the grid lines only. See, under grid lines only, we have horizontal grid lines, vertical grid lines, then border grid lines. The borders. Where would you like to add these borders? To all or column headers only or value section to that means this part. Okay. Or total section to the bottom. No, I would like to add to all, and the border position should be at top, bottom, left, right, in all the directions. I see the grid lines got added. The grid lines were added. Next to it, I would like to change the grid lines for the borders to orange. I assume it as orange. If I'm wrong, excuse me. Okay, because I'm not that much good at identifying the colors, guys. Okay, so I feel it as orange, and I have added the orange for border grid lines as well. I would like to increase the size to 3. Done. So this is how finally I have my visualization. I have my visualization. And additionally, we have options. So we have row padding and global font size. The overall font size is 10. If you would like to increase it, yes, you can. And row padding is nothing but the size. Okay, between the records, the space that was being used is 1. Okay, if you are satisfied with all the changes that you have done for grid part, grid option, you can proceed. If not, if you click on the reset to default, it goes to the default level. See, anyhow, I'm going to do it once for once. See, if I click on reset to default, what happened? It took me back to the default part. So that is the power of reset to default. You need not go back and do the changes again. Okay, if you're not satisfied, just click on reset to default. That's it. I hope you understood the purpose of gridline options. Next to gridline options, we have values section. What do we have? The values option. What are the values that we have here that represents the records? All these 20 records are talking about the values. So for these values, you can change the font style. So by default, it is using this font. If you're not satisfied with the font, you can change the font style. Then next to the font style, you can also increase the font size. As we have discussed earlier, the size is 10. And if you're not satisfied, you can increase the size. See. Yeah, Vish. Okay. So 10 is comfortable for me. Then, would you like to make all these values bold? It doesn't make sense. What is the purpose of making the values bold? Not, that's not the right idea. So we can also make the values bold, italic, and we can add an underline option. We can underline these values, right? So these are the options that we can also observe in Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, right? So all the same formatting options you observe here as well. Next, text color. By default, it is giving us in black. Would you like to change the text color to any other color? Say for example, blue. You see here, it did not change the text color for all the records. For the alternating records, you can change the other text color. See, assume instead of blue, if I would like to keep it in orange, how about it? Is it looking good? I just I gave it my try. Okay, so I am representing the text in both blue and orange, and accordingly I can adjust my background color. I can adjust my background color. So it is not suitable here. Obviously, I'll keep it like this. And for the alternating rows, I would like to go with say the blue one. Not that much good, right? So if I'm not satisfied, I can click on reset to default, where it takes back to the default level. Okay. So we also have text wrap option. What does this text wrap option does is, it will wrap the text. See, for example, if the text is more, in any of the cell, if the text is more, it will wrap to the next level, to the next line. Okay, that is the purpose of text wrap. I have made it on. So these are the different options that we have under values. And next to values, we have column headers. What are column headers, guys? These represent the column headers: product ID, product name, category, quantity, amount. Okay. So all of these represent the column headers. So when I click on these column headers, you'll observe the same formatting options like font style, font size. Okay. Then you can make them bold. Yes. Making the column headers bold will make sense. And would you like to change the color of your column headers? If so, go and change the color. Probably this is not that much good. The color that we have used is not good. So let me change it to, say, not a dark color. Making sense? Yes. Then you can also add a background color to your columns. A background color to your column headers can be added. Let me do it. Yes. So I'm highlighting the columns that I am using. Product ID, product name, category, total quantity, and total amount. Making sense? And where would you like to align the text? Within the headers, would you like to align the text towards left side, center aligned, or right? For me, I'm comfortable with left alignment, so I'll go with the left part. And by default, the text wrap is on. I would like to make it on itself. I'll not change it. And we also have other options. Okay, so we have auto size width, which means depending on the values that are present in the columns, it will decide the width of the column. See, depending on the size of the column, the values or the column name, it will decide the width of the column. So I'll make it on. So this is actually making sense. I'll not go to default level. So I'm comfortable with the changes that I have made with respect to the columns. I'll go to the next option. What is the next option that we have? We have tools. I mean, we have totals. We are done with the column headers. We have the next option as totals. Let me go with the totals options, the different formatting options that we have for the totals. What are the totals? It means this totals. Okay. So why do you see the totals here is that is because of this option. There is a values option and by default it is on. If I make it off, you'll not see that values. But what do you say? Would you like to keep the total section on or off? I have to make it on, guys. Why? Because what is the reason if I keep it off? So that is the reason I'll make it on so that I can have the quantity, the total quantity that got stored, the total amount that I have received from these column, I mean these products. I'll have the information crystal clear here. Right? Yes. Then what would you name your total label? Just as total, or you can also change your requirement. I'll go with the total as the total label, and you have the font style for this total. Okay. The font size, and would you like to make it bold? Yes, obviously we have to have them, the total section in the bold. And text color, uh, instead of black, let me use a dark color. Okay. And the background color for this, I'll choose a light one. Okay. So I'm trying to highlight the both column headers and the total section. I'm satisfied. So I'll go to the next option. I'll move to the next option. So far, what did we do? We have tried to change the style of the table chart, then followed by the grid lines, the different grid lines, vertical grid lines, horizontal grid lines. Okay. And the border grid lines, we have tried to change the colors. Then followed by the values. Okay. For these values, we have the formatting options, then column headers. So for these column headers, we have the formatting options, and next to it, we have totals. For the total section also, we have the formatting option. Okay. Right? Next to totals, I'll go with the specific column. The next formatting option that we have is specific column. What does this specific column actually talk about? Specific column is talking about one specific column that you would like to, that you are actually interested in. See, out of all these 5 columns, to which column you are showing more interest, or which column is very important? Okay, if that's so, if you assume the total amount is the important column, okay, and if you would like to add any formatting options to this total amount column, select that column. First of all, to which column it is asking you to select, apply the settings. I'll select as total column. Okay, for this total column, what would you like to, where would you like to add the settings? To the header part, or to the totals part, or to the values only? Your wish. If all three, make all these 3 options as on. Keep all of them on. But I would not like to disturb header and total because already I have done the changes. Let me apply only to values. Let me apply only the formatting options to these values. Okay. So that is the reason I kept apply to values option on. Then to these values, what formatting option, what text color would you like to use? I would like to go with a dark color. But guys, this option that we are doing here will change only for a specific column. See, did it affect the values of all the columns? No. Why? Because we are doing the formatting only for the important columns. Here, I feel the total amount is one of the important column. So I'm making the formatting to that specific option, to that specific column alone. I'm highlighting the values. Okay. And I would like to add a background color to it as well. Yes. And what are the display units? By default, you'll have it none. You can also change the display units to thousands, millions, depending on the values that you have. Anyhow, my values are very small. I would not like to change it. Okay. So this is where, apply to a specific column means you can highlight one specific column values alone. See, I'm trying to change or highlight the values of one specific column alone. Making sense? Yes. What if you are not satisfied with this? You can click on reset to default. So that is how the specific column formatting options help us. Okay. Next to specific column, we have cell elements. What is the next option? Cell elements. So let us understand what is the purpose of cell elements, guys. Right. Cell elements helps us to, format the values under the columns. Okay. Under these columns, it helps us to format the values depending on the column that you select. For example, if I select total amount as my column, and if I would like to apply any settings on it. So only it helps us to change the colors. See? Depending on the values that we have within the element. Okay, cell elements. So within the column, the specified column, depending on the values that we have in the total amount, it helps us to apply the formatting options. First one. First one is background color. When I make it on, What happened? Is the background color getting changed? Yes. How come? And if you observe, not all the values have the same background color. Why? I see the background color of 25 is very light and the background color of 2375 is very dark. Can you tell me why? What might be the reason? Go for a guess, guys. What might be the reason? What is actually making this, different background color for the values? What is the formatting option called? Cell elements. Depending on the values that we have within these elements, within these cells, it is giving the background color. So a smaller number will have a light background color and a big number will have a dark background color, right? So what I'll do is, can I change this color? I'm not satisfied with this blue color. Yes, you see f of x, a function. Okay, so when you click on this f of x, a pop-up window opens and you'll see the colors. You can change what should be the color that has to be displayed for the minimum value. A light orange. The highest value, a dark orange. Okay, so if you see in this ratio, depending on the values under each and every cell, it will display the background color. See, when I click on OK, if you observe accordingly, it has changed the color of the background. It has changed the color of background. Clear? Yes. What is the next option that we have? I'll make it off. Under cell elements, we also have font color. Like how we have changed the background color, in the same way, we just have only font color. Again, the concept is same, guys. But instead of applying for the background, it is applying for the font. To the font, the color is getting changed depending on the value that we have in each and every cell. And why it is getting applied only for total amount? Because I have selected only for one specific column. It is total amount. So can I change it? Yes, I can make the changes. You see in the pop-up window, the font color pop-up window. So by selecting the color, it helps us to change the colors. What color has to be displayed for the lowest value, the font, and what color has to be displayed for the highest value. Accordingly, it is going to change these colors. Right. If you understood background color, font color is something similar to it, guys. Font color is exactly similar to it. Making sense? Next to font color, what do you see? Is it data bars? Yes, it is data bars. What is data bars? Let me, turn on this option. I see some bars. Data bars is nothing but, it helps us to represent the values using some bars. The values that we have in each and every cell, depending on the value, we have the bar represented. 25 is very small. You see the size of the bar? So, where do we use this data bars concept is, especially, see, when you have very sensitive information, like, see, when you are going across some board meetings, okay, when you are displaying any sensitive information in any important meetings, where you would not like to disclose the values. If you would not like to disclose the value, instead of disclosing the value, if you would like to display them in with a bar or with some values, with some shapes, there comes the importance of data bars. How? You can show bar only. When you click on show bar only, it will display the bar instead of showing the value. And you can change the bars colors. Okay. And the axis by default is black color, guys. What is axis is nothing but the place from where the bars are getting started. What is the bar direction? It is from left to right. That is the reason you have initial. When you would like to have it from right to left, you can also do it. Your wish, your comfort. Okay. Should I make it as right to left? Let me do it. Then I'll click on OK. See, I can clearly understand the total amount that was generated by office share is very less. Why? Because the size of the bar is very small. And when I compare it all, I can observe the total amount that is generated by smart thermostat is very high. So, in this way, you can hide the important information. But how you are displaying the information? By representing the data using some bars. How am I doing it? Using some bars. So that is the purpose of, data bars. Understood, guys? Let me make it off. Next to data bars, what do we have? The last option under the formatting options. I see icons. What is the next option? Icons. What is the purpose of these icons? Let me turn it on. It is similar to data bars, but instead of observing bars alone, you'll see some icons. What does these icons represent? They represent some meaning. You see conditional statements? Yes, we have defined some conditions. Okay, if the values fall under these conditions, accordingly, that specific symbol will be displayed. Why only 3 symbols? Can I change the number of symbols? Yeah, wish. You can have n number of symbols. See, I can have 3 symbols. I can change the symbol types. Okay, I can have till 5 different symbols. Then, for these symbols, you should define your rules. What is my first rule says? From 0 till 33% of the values, they fall, all of them will take diamond symbol. Okay. Then next to it, we have triangle for next 33%. And for the last 33%, we have circle. Right. So this is how I have the rules. I can add multiple rules. I can remove the rules also. Yeah, wish. See, it is allowing me to move up and down. The rules can be adjusted. Okay. So that is where. So where would you like to apply? I would like to apply only for the values. There is no use of applying for totals. Right. Yes. And where would you like to align it? The icon. Top, middle, bottom. Or where would you like to have the icon? Left to data or right to data or icon only? If you don't want to disclose the information, you can click on right icon only. Let me select icon only. So this is how I can hide my important information. I can hide my important information. Making sense? Yes. So these are the different important formatting options, guys. that we have. Okay. For table chart, I'll go to the next formatting option. We are done with almost all the important formatting options. Let me talk about general formatting options that we have for a visualization. What are the general options that we have for table chart? The first one is properties. Okay. So where it talks about the height and width of this particular visualization. Okay. So I would not like to disturb these properties. Would you like to add any title to this chart? Yes. When you add a title, it would make some sense, right? So let us add a title. I'll name my title as, it's a table chart, right? Table chart. See, immediately the title was being affected in the visualization. It got added. And you can increase it. Okay. We have the formatting options for the title also. For the given title also, we have the formatting options. Right. I can make it bold. I can change the text color to some say pink, and let me add a background color to it. Let me align it to the center. Let me increase the font. Yes. So would you like to add any subtitle? Yes. If you would like to add any subtitle also, it is possible. So these are the general formatting options that you'll observe. Understood? I hope it is very clear with respect to the table chart. We have successfully completed the first chart of data visualization. It is table chart. Clear, guys? Is it clear or not? Yes. Now let us discuss the next visualization. So before going to the next visualization, I would like to quickly recap what we have covered so far. Okay. We started understanding the concept of data visualization, in which we completed the first chart, table chart. What is the purpose of table chart is, it helps us to keep the information very detailed in the form of tables, rows and columns. We are representing the data in the form of rows and columns. Okay. So if you find any not numeric columns, if you would like to add in numeric columns, they can be aggregated. Okay. You can adjust them accordingly. And the formatting options were being discussed. We have explored all the important formatting options that are available for table chart. Right. Now, let me go and add matrix chart. The next visualization is matrix chart. What is matrix chart? I hope all of you have learned matrices. In mathematics, there is a concept called matrices. So how are we storing the numbers in a matrix? Again, it is same in rows and columns. Yes. So let me add a matrix chart and we'll discuss the differences anyhow. Between the table chart and the matrix chart, we are going to discuss the differences. Right? So if you observe properly, guys, for table chart, we have only one column. I mean, we have only one option called columns. But for matrix chart, if you observe, we have three different options coming in: rows, columns, values. That means you can add rows, you can bring the fields into rows, you can bring the fields into columns, and you can also bring the fields into values. So that is where the matrix chart is completely different from table chart. Even though if you are representing the data in the form of rows and columns, it helps us to drill down. It helps us to drill down to any extent. What is this drill down? what is this drill down options that we are going to get? We'll understand. Okay. So first of all, to the rows part, I'll bring columns like category. What are the 4 different categories that we have? Clothing, electronics, furniture, and grocery. And if we observe, all these are arranged alphabetically. All the different categories are arranged alphabetically. Yes. And can I add any multiple options under the rows? Under the rows option that I have, can I add multiple fields? Yes. I see the space. So let me bring under different categories. We also have different products. Let me bring these products to rows itself, guys. I'll tell you why. The reason why did I bring the products into rows is under each and every category, you'll see the products. See, you'll see the products under each and every category. Observe. So in this way, we have different products under different categories. Now, let me bring columns. Let me add some fields to the column section. Okay. So what are the columns that I would like to bring here is, there is a column called under stores. There is a column called location. There is a column called location. So let me add location to the columns part, which helps us to give the different locations in which this our business is being operated. As we have the data set from United States, all these are different locations: Chicago, Houston, New York, and San Francisco. Okay. So under these locations, I would also like to get store names. Can I also have multiple columns added to the columns part? Yes. Let me add column names. I mean the store name. But if you don't think that they are not get added, I'll tell you, they got added. Under each and every location, we also have different stores. Okay. And finally, let me add a column to the values part. Okay. So what column shall we add? Let me bring the total amount. Let me bring. So this gives me the complete information of the category from each location. So it is giving me the information for the total amount. For clothing from Chicago, I'm getting this much amount. For under the clothing category from Houston, I'm getting this much amount. So what is the total amount that I'm getting from all the locations for clothing category? It is this much dollars. So when you compare a matrix chart and table chart, that is where you'll find the difference. I hope it is making sense. And additionally, you see these columns. Earlier, you see only these 3 columns for this table chart. See, the filter one, focus mode, and the ellipse. But these options were not there. Actually, these help us for drilling. You see the plus icon only for rows. That is because of we have selected rows. If you would like to drill on columns, you'll observe the plus icon for, the columns. We are supposed to add it. We'll do it anyways. Fine. Let me start drilling via rows initially. How can I drill it? One way is to click on this plus icon. Okay, when you click on this plus icon, you are going to get the complete information, guys. I can see that 4K TV is not getting any kind of sales in Chicago. So now I'll take some kind of preventive actions. Why? Why portable chargers are not getting sold in Chicago? What is making running shoes not getting sales? There is no amount of, we did not get any amount for, running shoes in Houston. Why? So these are insights. You'll get all these insights when you visualize the data. So that is the power of data visualization. That is the power of data visualization. And that is why I am telling you to guys to focus. When you visualize your data, you can get more insights. Once if you get these insights, once you grab the insights, you can take some actions. Obviously, you'll do some actions like by providing running shoes very at 50% off in Houston will increase your sales. When the sales get increased, your profits, the amount will generate. Okay, you have to attract customers. How do you attract customers? By providing, you have to play the tactics, guys. There is no other option. If you observe Mintra, all the e-commerce sites like Amazon, Mintra, Flipkart, what are they doing? Are they sitting idle? They'll have a big team who visualize the data. Okay. When they do visualize the data, they'll come and understand such kind of, they'll grab all these insights. Accordingly, they'll act. They'll take some actions. Once they take actions, they'll see the observe with respect to their sales. So this is what happens. That is where, Power BI, not only Power BI, many BI tools came into the picture. Earlier, we don't have these many BI tools. And now in today's market, there is a lot of demand for these BI tools, business intelligence tools. Why? Because using business intelligence tools only, we were able to make reports. We were able to generate dashboards. So all of these things we are able to do only using BI, business intelligence tools. Right. So let us not go out of our path. Let us stick to what we are discussing. Anyways, so if you observe, when I expand all these with respect to the rows, under each category, as we have added the products, okay, I can clearly observe there are no sales. Because of no sales, there is no amount being generated. Grocery. See, if you observe, when I selected grocery, immediately the chart got interacted. From the table chart, it just, selected only the grocery related products. So that is the advantage of reports. When you are trying to visualize your data in report level, the tiles or the charts, they interact with each other. They interact with each other. So let me click on grocery as well. So these are the different products that we have. Now, I can clearly understand there are no sales for these products in some areas, some locations. Let me, talk about these formatting options that are very important here. I'll be talking about all of them one by one. So what are these formatting options? How are we going to use them? Is, you see 4 options. Yes. The first one is an arrow mark pointing upwards. It is for drilling up. The second one is drill down option, a single arrow mark. Okay. So when you click on it, it helps us to drill down. Okay. It turns on the drill down mode. And the third option helps us to drill down to the next level in the hierarchy. So what makes the difference? We'll discuss. And the last option is actually talking about the drill down option. It is one of the drill down option which helps us to drill down to the next level, including the parent level. So this will display both the parent and the child. Whereas this one will not display the parent. So what is this parent level, child level? We'll discuss. First of all, Let me start drilling down. How am I drilling down? I am drilling based on the rows, the records. So I'll select the drill mode. So it is active. Now, when I click on any one of the drill down options, let me click on this. What does this two arrow marks pointing downward see? It tells that it is going to the next level in the hierarchy. What is the next level to category? It is product name. So when I click on this, it drills down to the next level in the hierarchy. That means it goes to the product name category. See, but is it displaying the information of category? I have the product names. Good. But if I ask you, or if your client comes and if they ask you like water bottle falls under which category, that information cannot be displayed. That is because of the option that we used. It just goes to the next level in the hierarchy without displaying the parent level. Okay. Now the option is disabled. Why? We are at the lowest level. There is no other level next to product name. If you have any other level in the next to product name, it also helps us to go to the next level. As there is no next level, you are supposed to drill up. That means the first arrow mark. What is the purpose of first arrow mark? It helps us to drill up. Now again they become active. Right. Let us talk about the fourth arrow mark. The two arrow marks that we have. This fourth arrow that we have will display the parent as well. That means the category will be displayed. Along with the category, it will also display the product names. Under each and every category, it will display the products. Okay. So let me click on this once. See. Earlier, I have clicked on all the plus icons. Post only after clicking on the plus icons, you are able to see the product names. The products are falling under each and every category. But instead of that, I just click on the last icon, which helped me to display both the parent level and the child. Parent and the child, both. So that is the purpose of the last icon. And now it is in disabled mode. Why? We are at the last level. We are the lowest level. We cannot go beyond it. So the only option is I can drill up. So these options help us for drilling up and drilling down. So far, we have drilled only on rows. Let us do the same on columns. Let us do the same on columns. Right. So what I'm going to do is, I have selected the columns first. Now I'll be drilling based on the columns. Okay. So within columns, what are the different fields that we have added? We have added location. Under location, we have stores, different stores. Yes. So if you take any store in Hyderabad or any major city, you can expect multiple stores under a location. Even the same here. In Chicago, you'll have multiple stores. Houston, you'll have multiple stores. Right. So let us check the data with respect to multiple stores. See. Central Plaza Mart, Downtown Depot. So in this way, I have different stores. I have different stores and the values. Fine. I cannot go beyond it because I'm at the lowest level. So I'll drill up back. What if you would like to have the parent? That means both the location and the store name. You are supposed to use the last icon. See. So Chicago, all these stores. The name of the location is Chicago, and these are the different locations, the stores in Chicago. Next to it, you'll find Houston. Okay. Under Houston, these are the different stores. New York. The location name is New York. And under New York, these are the different stores. So in this way, I have all the stores and the stores values under each and every location. I'm able to see the data. I'm able to see the data to each and every level. So that can be done using matrix visualization. That can be done using matrix visualization. Right? So I'll drill up and I'll also make the drill mode off. So if you observe, when you want to drill down, you are initially supposed to turn on the drill down mode. You have to go to the drill down mode. Okay. How do you observe whether you are in the drill down mode? See, when you select it, you'll obviously see a yellow color circle getting next to the mark. So the entire arrow mark is within a circle, the black color circle, right? So this actually talks about the drill down mode is on. So I'll make it off. Anyways, not required. So these are the drill down options that we have. And these drill down options you'll also observe for the next coming visualizations. I hope it is very clear. So the first one is for drilling up. The next one is the next arrow mark pointing downwards is for turning on the drill down mode. And next one is for going to the next level in the hierarchy, drilling down to the next level in the hierarchy. And the last one is for drilling to the next level in the hierarchy along with the parent level. Okay. So these are the different drill down options that we have. Now let me talk about the formatting options, guys. So the majority of the formatting options will be same. So focus so that we can complete matrix visualization as well. So what is the first formatting option you see? Is it same? Layout and style presets. The same. All these style presets we have discussed in table chart. You remember? Yes. Additionally, you see the layout. Whether would you like to have it in compact or outline? So when you say outline, you'll see the totals at the top or tabular. Yeah, Vish. As a table format, would you like to keep? Yeah, Vish. Okay. Would you like to repeat the row headers? That would not make sense. So I'll keep it off. So these are the different options that you'll observe under layout and style presets. Next to layout and style presets, we have grid lines. We have grid lines, grid line options. Okay. The horizontal grid lines by default, they are off. I'll make them on. And color for my horizontal grid lines, I'll change it to any dark color so that I can understand whether we are, yes. Let me increase the size of the horizontal grid line. Perfect. In the same way, vertical grid lines, I'll go and select the same blue color or the violet color kind of color. Then I'll also increase the width of the vertical grid lines. Done. Now I'll do the same for the borders. I'll select all the border positions. Done. And what color should I go with for the borders? Let me select the same color, and the width also I'll make it as 3, guys. Yes, now it is looking beautiful. All right. So These are the different formatting options that we have for grid lines. Grid. Next to it, we have blank rows. Would you like to turn on the blank rows so that you'll have the clear separation between each and every, category? If you observe, there is a clear partition when you have the blank row. Okay. If you would like to have it, you can turn on. If not, you can make it off. Okay. What color would you keep for this blank rows? Would you keep a white color by default, or would you like to add any light color? See, your wish. So upon your requirement, the only aim is to make our visualization beautiful. Our visualization should be attractive. So to make others get attracted to our visualization, you have to go and use these formatting visual options. You have to go and use the formatting visual options. And you can adjust the transparency. Yeah, wish. So I'm just increasing the transparency. When I'm trying to increase, it is getting lightened. Yes. Would you like to have the border for these blank rows? Just add the, if you're not feeling comfortable with having the blank rows, you can make them reset to default. So these are the different options that we have for blank rows. Next to blank rows, we have values formatting option. That means these values only. Okay, I'm talking about these values. Okay, so for these values, we have the formatting options. We can change the font style, the font size can be increased. Okay, next to it, we can make them bold. See, there is no use of making the values bold, but you can change the text color. You can change the text color. You can add the background color to the values alone. Then you can also add an alternative text color. Okay, for the alternating text, you can add the color, and alternating background color can also be changed. So I feel not required, because whatever we have so far, it's looking good, pretty good. And I have also kept the text wrap option on. So wherever the value is getting very big, it wraps the text to the next line. And what do we have under the, okay, options, not required. So these are the different options that we have under values. Next to values, you see column headers. These, the column headers. For column headers also, we have the formatting options. Like we can change the font style. The font size can be increased. Okay. Next to the font size, we can also increase the size of the font. We can make it bold. Yes. I would like to keep the column headers in bold, and the text color should not be something black. See if, let me use a dark color. Yes. For column headers, I'm going with a dark color, and accordingly, I'll change the background. Okay. And if possible, you can increase the size. See. Okay. I have increased the size of the column headers. And where would you like to align it? Right, left, center. Yeah, wish. And the title also. Okay. Next to it, we have the options. The auto size width is on. Yes, according to your width of the column, it adjusts the column. Next to column headers, additionally, you'll see row headers. This row headers option you'll not find under table chart. Why? In table chart, there are no row headers. But in matrix chart, we have row headers, guys. So that is the reason why you'll see row headers formatting options. When you select this row headers options, When you click on this row headers options, what you will see, the same formatting options, changing the font style, increasing the size of the font. I have adjusted to 12 and I'll make it bold. I'll make them bold. Done. And I'll add a color to the row headers. Probably will orange. Done. Yes. And we also can change the background color for the row headers. Okay. Branded row color. If you make it off, this will help you to keep the color for row headers. Then where would you like to align it? Towards the left. Done. And you see the plus minus icons? That is because of the on button, guys. See, for row headers alone, you see the plus minus icons. Once if you make it off, you'll not find that plus minus icons. No. So it's up to you. Anyhow, you can drill them here. If you don't want to have it, you can make it off. If you like to have it, you should make them on. Okay. So when you click on this arrow mark, so it is also giving a chance to change these icons alone. You can change the size of the icon and the color of the icon. See, I went with very light color. Let me go with any other different dark color. Then, would you like to increase the size of the icon? Your wish. So that means in the formatting options, you will find each and every formatting option present for that visual. Even for the icons also. Each and everything. But the only thing is to explore. When you explore, you'll get each and every formatting visual option. Okay? Right. So this is not making beautiful. I'll click on reset to default. Done. So all this is because of the row headers. Next to row headers, we have column subtotals. The column subtotals. These are column subtotals. My bad. For each and every column, you'll see the subtotals. So when you don't want to have it, you can make them on. Oh, are these the column subtotals? Okay, my bad. So these are the column subtotals. Okay, so you can make them off or on. So if you would like to have it, you can also do the formatting options. There are formatting options with respect to the column subtotals. You can apply them on for each and every column level. Yes. So what is the subtotal that you would like to have? Label. I would like to keep it as total only. I will not change it. Okay. For the values that we have, you will also observe the formatting options for these values, guys. For these values, we will observe the formatting options. I have made them bold. I'll increase in size because they are important, right? And also change the text color, probably orange. Done. Yes. So whatever we have, you know, let me apply to all and location so that we can have a subtotal label as well. Okay. So this is all about the column subtotals. In the same way, we also have row subtotals. We have row subtotals, which means these values. For the rows, we have the subtotals. So let me make them on. By default, they are on. If you would not like to have them, you'll not find the row subtotal. That it's not making sense. I'll make it on. And these row subtotals also have the formatting options. Apply row level for all the rows. Okay. And for the values, you'll find the formatting options for these values. I'll increase the size. Done. And we by default have the font style and the font size can be changed. Okay. So these are common in nature. Next to row subtotals, we have column grand total. We have column grand total. What is column grand total? This one. Let me make it big. Yes. Yes. For the column grand totals, you'll see the formatting options, the font style, the font size. Okay. So these are your column grand totals. Okay. So I'm going to change these column grand total values. I have kept it in bold and you can change the color of your column grand total. See, the column grand total can be changed. And you can add a background color to your column grand totals. Okay. So I'll add a light color coming in. In the same way, we also have formatting options for row grand total. For these rows that we have, we have the row grand totals. So for these, we have the formatting options. I'll change them to the same color. See, they got changed. And I'll add a background color to the row grand totals. Done. Done. So these are the different formatting options that you'll observe for matrix chart, matrix visualization. Because table chart and matrix chart both represent the data in table view, but still under matrix chart, you'll find many more formatting options like row subtotals, row grand total, row headers, which are not present in table chart, right? And we have specific column and cell elements. These two are again same coming from table chart. Okay, you can select a specific column and for that specific column alone, you can change the color. That can be done. Okay, so you can apply to the values, the header, subtotals and the values depending on to which specific section you would like to apply. You can select, you can make the buttons, no, you can make them on. Next to specific column, you see cell elements. So all of these are same, whatever we have discussed in table chart. Making sense? That is what I'm trying to convey, friends. Majority of these formatting options will have the same, majority of these visualizations will have the same formatting options. Okay. If you try to understand the formatting options for one visualization properly, okay, you can apply the same formatting options across different visualizations. All these we have discussed in table chart, background color, font color, data bars, icons. You also have them, you also notice them in the matrix visualization. Let me talk about the general formatting options. So when I click on the general, the general formatting options that you see here are the title, first of all. Can we add a title for the visualization? Yes. By making it on, and you can add a text. It's matrix visual or matrix chart. Your wish. Visual. And What type of heading would you like to go with? I will keep it as heading 6 and I'll increase in size. Done. I'll make it bold. I'll change the color of my title. Probably this one. And the background color, I'll be adding a background color to the title and I'll make it horizontal align. And I'll make it horizontal align. So this way I'll make the charts beautiful. Making sense? Yes. Yes, you can go to the next level. Wherever you want, you can go. See guys. Within report, in report level, you can go and the charts can be interacted with each other. See, when I say furniture, in the other chart, the products that are part of furniture category only will be filtered. So this is how the charts interact in a report level. In the report level alone, the charts will be interacted. You cannot observe the charts getting interacting in dashboard. Okay. And you cannot generate dashboards using Power BI desktop. Okay. Only we can generate reports. So how to build dashboards is we use Power BI service, one of the component of Power BI. So that we'll do later. Once after understanding the important visualizations, I'll talk about Power BI service. I hope today's session went well because it is all about visualizing the data. Okay. Either it might be table chart or matrix chart, whatever it might be. It's like visualizing the data. You're going to visualize the data. Right. So any questions so far? As today is the part of visualizations, I was a bit slow for taking up, for making the formatting options understood. Okay. Later on from tomorrow, I'll increase my pace where we are supposed to, understand all these visualizations, the important one. Thank you. And guys, if you find the session went well, do hit on the like button, share across your connections, ask them to learn Power BI because it's free of cost, right? Utilize this opportunity. Yes, we have provided the feedback link. Give your valuable feedback before you leave and ensure that you have subscribed to our channel, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, that is what I'm telling my friend. So today is part of day one, right? I mean, data visualizations part one, where we are supposed to understand the formatting options. There are n number of formatting options present for each and every visualization. So that is the reason we were very bit slow. From tomorrow, anyhow, I'll be increasing the pace. Okay. So that the session will be very interesting. Anyhow, I feel today you have learned new concepts that are going to add a lot of weight to your career. Okay. If so, do hit on the like button. Yeah, that's what. I just completed only 2 visualizations. That's okay. From tomorrow, we'll understand the difference, right? That's okay. No worries. Yes, do encourage us by hitting on the like button and also share across your connections. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great day.